What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another episode where we have I don't know, I kind of want to just go right to Marco right off the bat because I know there's a lot of
That's
emotions,
crazy.
a lot of
Oh, bro,
emotions
I'm
going on in
pissed.
this episode. But before we get into everything, as always, I'm one of your hosts, Eric. Alongside me, I got
Nico, Nick.
John.
And this time it's Marco the pissed one.
the pissed one. Before
Never mind.
a little housekeeping. As always, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe. It does go a long way. A review in the podcast does also help out tremendously. So we appreciate all of that. And come share your voice on the bench. We do have. When did the Champions League draw happen? Did it happen already? No.
Last
It
Friday.
did
It happened on
happen.
Friday.
Okay,
Friday.
so we're not gonna go over the Champions League draw today. We are gonna go over that Wednesday, and make sure you tune into that episode because we have a special guest
Yes.
coming. Not guest, but yes.
A face that you haven't seen in a while.
Yes. So make sure you tune in for that episode and come share your voice on the bench. All that stuff is down below on the description. So with all that being said, how are you guys?
Really
You got a
well.
smirk on your face.
No, I'm doing really well.
You gotta get a smirk on your face.
No,
It's
trust
like,
me, I'm doing really well.
It seems like he's got something he wants to get off his chest.
I know.
He wants to yell after that.
No, I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well.
Okay. All right. Marco, you good over there, bro?
I think I was more pissed yesterday than I am today.
Okay.
I'm
Really?
still pissed.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still pissed, but it's all right. It is where it is.
Okay.
The results doesn't change where we're at, so.
Oh,
But we'll get to it.
We'll definitely get to that. Gat, what's up,
Yeah,
bro?
I'm doing good. Can't
Yeah.
complain.
All right. Damn,
Can't complain.
I'm just.
What about you?
Trying to,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. You know, I got a lot done this weekend, and
That's true.
my love team got 3 points, so we move forward, and yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I just wanted to see if we can keep this going for a little bit longer before we have to face the inevitable conversation that did happen yesterday, which is a Clasico. But sorry, Marco. I guess we'll start talking about the Premier League first, and then we'll talk about that for the very ending of the podcast. And you ready? You good? All right. First game we got Wolves and Leeds. Did you guys watch this game? First of all, no.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah. So the highlights took forever to watch because there were so many fucking things that were happening in that game.
There were so many injuries, so many yellow cards. I don't know. No more Leeds tax, Nick.
Yo, Jesse Marsh is he?
No
is
more
he
Leeds
really?
tax. Now defense, they were still sloppy as fuck,
Mhm.
but they definitely turned it on in the second half.
All right. Before you guys go into your rant, I really do need to tell you this one thing that I did this past week. And it has to do with Wolves and Leeds. So, you and I have been talking about we're doing the whole who gets the most
Points.
predictions. Yeah.
Correct.
So I said we keep saying we're doing so well, we should start betting. I said, fuck it, let me bet. Let me put money on this one, and I put money on all 4 games. Well, I got 3 out of 4.
Oh no!
And guess which one I got wrong?
These Wolves. That's your team leaves though.
I know,
bro.
and I fucking score. I put Wolves to win.
But wait, what was the payout?
5.
500. Damn.
Yeah, I was pissed, bro.
Please.
I got everything else right.
Gamble
Even
responsibly, please.
but even the Spurs one, which I said Spurs is gonna lose because it was trolling.
Yeah.
But I knew the Spurs had a good chance to walk away with the win, and they did quickly.
Yeah.
But
So you,
I
you
was,
bet with your head instead of your heart.
yeah, on that one, I was like, and I debated on that one specifically because I knew it was gonna be a good game. Here, I think I had it on my predictions. I had it as a tie. But there, I said Wolves. Sometimes I feel like just Wolves is sometimes they're kind of like underdogish, that you just never know what they're gonna end up doing. And I felt because they were home, they were gonna have the upper hand. And at one point they did.
Yeah,
you guys will get into it.
The first half.
First
At one point they did.
yeah.
They had the upper hand, but they let it slide and they walked away with the fucking loss. So yeah, you guys talk to me about the game.
I mean, I didn't. Again, I said we watched the highlights, and the only real thing, the only context I got out of the game from Lee's side of it is what Jesse Marsh said at the end of the game, with his interview with Gary Neville and Jimmy Carragher, where he was just saying that these guys were just gonna fight until the very end of the game, which is what they did apparently. I mean, I saw the goals; they were hard fought goals. You know, Ailing was constantly
Hard fought on Leeds' end, but just
sloppy
stupid,
defending.
shambolic as fuck on Wolves' end.
Which is very unlike them.
Mm-hmm.
Very unlike them. And
They definitely got rattled.
Raul Jimenez red card.
That was harsh.
That
was
a little bit
harsh.
harsh.
Because you can, of course, when you break it down, We say it all the time. When you're
Yeah.
looking at it in slow motion, things look a lot different. But it definitely looked like he was trying to pull back from that tackle, and Melier just went full speed, and he ended up getting injured on that play too. But it was harsh.
Isn't it like
And
the second Jimenez
Yeah.
questionable red card this season? Like he got one against Man City,
Mhm.
or was he like he picked up the ball? He made a tackle, got a yellow card, and then like kicked the ball out, something like that. And he
It was
got
like a
red
double
card.
yellow,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it was the
Yellow.
double
I
yellow
think I remember
instantly.
that one. Yeah.
So
When they tried to continue the play and he stood in the way and kicked it away or something. Yeah. But it was harsh. It must have been one hell of a team talk at halftime because it was all Wolves the first half.
Well, have you guys ever seen Jesse Marsh's halftime speech when he was working at, I believe, Leipzig?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he was speaking,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
speaking full on German. He was speaking
It was
full on
against,
German, and it was
against
like,
Liverpool.
huh?
It was against Liverpool
Oh,
at
that's right.
Anfield. Where,
And
he was coaching Salzburg.
I mean, if you have it, yeah, if you just go on YouTube and just search it up, his halftime speech, and it was like very motivational. So maybe he has it in it to get these players, pumped up and to fight. So good luck to him. He's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think they're if I'm not mistaken, they're 7 points clear now with an extra game played. So the bottom is looking tight. We're soon getting to the point where we can start saying for sure who's gonna go down mathematically wise. So
Yeah.
mathematically speaking. So
We should do that. See how many points every team needs to either qualify for champions or get it relegated. Because you're right. It is kind of tight down there.
It's getting
Everton's
close.
at 25, and they're just out of relegation, and Leeds are right above them with 29.
yeah,
points,
usually
so-
I mean historically I would say somewhere around like the mid 30s is considered safe for the most part. So we're definitely getting there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, and that's the Leeds Wolves game. Great game to again watch the highlights because that in itself took forever to watch. It was like I think 15 minutes worth.
Yeah.
That's pretty a lot for match highlights. Next game, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. So I just want to get the vocal notes clear real quick. We've got Super Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. Tierney in the back, Gabby in attack. Arsenal going to the Champions League.
Damn. It was
You
a good
finally
one.
got a chant for him. You got a
You,
chant
mi-
for,
you, mi-
for
you missed your
for Villa?
calling.
huh?
You missed your calling.
I don't think you didn't make it, did you?
No,
Oh, about to
that's
say.
that. The fans have
They
made a chant
finally made
for,
one for him?
it's something that I did not expect to see, and I'm so happy that he's getting the recognition that he finally deserves. But Marco, did you? I mean, it was early kickoff, and we
Oh,
stayed
we,
up
we,
late
we,
for,
wa-
like,
we
a
were
4
watching it. We couldn't talk about it through text because Demi's always a minute delayed.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
sucks that you want to celebrate a goal, but you can't because
Yeah.
it takes forever for him to
Why is he
catch
delayed?
up. I don't know. We're all streaming it. It's not like we're
Yeah.
all watching it live. We're all streaming, but for some reason his is always a delay, and he lets us know
like
at the beginning.
a minute behind too, and
Yeah.
I've spoiled so many moments for him, so I learned to stay quiet.
And he gets pissed too.
He
So
gets very mad.
I enjoyed the game overall. To be honest with you, I'm a moment. I think I put it on the chat. I think for moments I felt like we were going to our old school beginning of season Arsenal. I didn't like how we were looking. I don't know if it was because Leno does not play from the back; he was just kicking it forward. I don't. There was something. I don't know if it was Martinelli's speed and the way that he attacks was that's what we were missing. But there was a struggle. Thankfully, we didn't let one go. We were able to stand our ground and fight till the end. But it was, to me, in my eyes, this one was a sloppy one, and it kind of reminded me of a beginning of season Arsenal.
Damn, I think you're kind of harsh right there, bro.
It could be, and maybe it's because I had a really fucked up weekend because of all the
I
soccer
think,
games.
I think you kind of.
But this one, I
yeah.
also I think I put it on the
No,
chat.
you said you were very very good first half. Second half, we kind of just let off a bit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think the game that happened later on.
Maybe
this
that's what's
weekend.
blinding me a little bit, but no. But honestly, I feel like
No, that's
there
fair,
was a lot more that we could have done, and I feel like we just didn't.
Yeah, I would agree with you that we don't have the tendency to close the game out. Like just put 2 or 3 when we have the opposition hurting. We can't just kill the game out. Just put the goals in. That's what we're lacking right now. But I wouldn't say it was a bad performance or sloppy one. I would say it was actually a really good performance coming back after Liverpool one, because if you look at last time we lost was against United, and what was the next game that we lost after that? Everton. So you could tell that it was a moment where the players were like already down on themselves, kind of blaming themselves. This was a good bounce back away from home. Aston Villa, who have been in pretty decent form right now, and I think it was overall good performance. I'm one player who Nick, I think we gotta talk about real quick is Thomas Partey, because we gave him the Atletico tax earlier on when he was granted he was doing fairly poor prior to this year, but since the turn of the new year, he's been just a complete. He's been looking like the player that we were all hoping he would be.
I also think since his really like kind of revitalization, since really the start of the February, like he's been like at Atletico, he's really like physically dominant, and like over here at Arsenal before his really like revitalization, he wasn't really winning his duels. Like now he's winning his duels, and he's pretty good on the ball. So that's really what I'm kind of looking at here. Just because in the number 6 role, especially as a lone 6, like every challenge you go into, you have to win. Like you have to go into that mindset where I have to win this ball, because if you don't, the opposition are probably facing your front two center backs, and which is Party has done a phenomenal job of doing that, just winning his duels. That's it. That's why like on the Liverpool game, that's mostly like how Liverpool have been able to win the games against Arsenal in the past year, just because Liverpool haven't always been able to win their duels in the midfield. And against at the Emirates last Wednesday, you saw the likes of Granit Xhaka and particularly Party winning his duels, and that really changed everything. Because when you win your duels, first of all, you get the ball back, and you're facing the opposition's DM and like front two center backs.
You already are in the second,
right.
third.
You have options to spray it out wide. That's what a lot of people like aren't looking at Party that much, just because they see him as a lone 6, positionally well, but like him winning his duels is so key.
Yeah, and I think again, like you said, since February, he's been just a complete baller. And yeah, he was injured the beginning of the season, which maybe could be an excuse, but I'm happy that he's looking really good right now. Saka, another goal. What do you guys think about the comments that were made about do you guys know what happened? With the comments that he said that he needs to be protected more from the refs, this that, and the other. So for anybody who doesn't know, Saka, I mean, it wasn't. Did you see the Mings tackle?
Yes.
Do you think it was a red card? Do you guys think it was a red card?
No, I think it was.
I
It
don't-
was
I
the
don't
card
think
was
so.
accurate.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I would agree with that. I don't think it was a red card, but he was getting rotationally fouled from like if it wasn't Mings fouling him, it was Cash or somebody else coming or McGinn, somebody else coming to foul him. So it wasn't the same player over and over again. And he went to the ref saying, "Hey, can you protect me a little bit here?" Which is, he has the right to say that.
Oh, yeah.
But what do you guys think about the comments that Steven Gerrard said, where he was like, "Listen, man, I've been have fucking surgeries, pins in my hip or something like that. He's gotta learn that's the prem."
I think that's bullshit. Because the last thing you want to do is hurt another player. I think there's always certain specific players within a team that gets tackled more,
Yeah.
and the refs should know about it and should have an eye on them. Doesn't mean that you always have to call every single foul, but just notice if it's consistent, call it out. Make sure that the other team is aware that, okay, I'm seeing what you're doing. Cut it out, or there's gonna be repercussions. But there is no need. Like if it was like every small foul is here and there, I'm like, what? There's no need for it. But I think every player should be able to call out the ref and say, hey, look, I'm getting fucked here. Do you want me to walk away injured? Because that one he could have walked away easily with
He
an
was
injury,
bleeding.
or not at least play one game. So
Yeah.
I mean, he has a reason to fucking to complain to the ref.
Yeah.
I'm also not surprised though, because he comes from an era of like flying tackles, proper center off. You know what I mean? Like 90s, early to late 2000s, like Jamie Carragher just like 2-footing someone, or Gerard, like what Holland's father did to Roy Keane, like those kind of challenges and whatnot. So he kind of like them kind of get associated with like proper, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
get stuck in. But times have changed, you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
also like you said, Bukayo Saka was getting completely, you know what I mean, smothered. He was getting hacked, but yeah.
I mean that's what Man City does. If you look at the kind of the way they play, they do very smart tactical fouls, but it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the result. Happy with
Oh no, I was gonna say on Jared though, since we were speaking about him, I think he's been kind of like setting a weird, especially against his top teams. I think he's been kind of like pragmatic. Um, I know when Aston Villa went away to Anfield earlier this season in December, the way he set up was like kind of like very like old school, kind of like Diego Simeone, Sean Dyche kind of football, where like 2 banks of 4, kind of really sit deep and soak the pressure, which is like, I don't know, it's really weird. I think also the players don't really benefit him as much, just because I think when he tries to build up, players like Konza and Mings aren't the best on the ball, so it's kind of difficult to build up with them. But again, I look at the other side of the pitch with like the front line, where he's not like starting like one of Leon Bailey, a real option in the outlet and attack, and instead like that Buendia Coutinho duo, which I don't really know what's going on because
died out.
yeah, it kind of died out. I kind of expected it. They just don't. They're kind of two similar players. Like, why have Buendia when you have Coutinho? You might as well just stick out Leon Bailey out wide and have an actual outlet / option out on the wing and whatnot. I don't know. It's kind of looking kind of sus to me, especially in big games for Gerrard.
What's the record right now? Can you guys pull that up real quick? Do you guys on the top of your head?
Under Gerrard or just in general?
Under Gerrard, just the recent couple games. I'm just curious to see how they're currently running right now. Well, regardless of the fact. But nah, the reason I asked because if you look at the comments that he said after the game, he was kind of upset how the players weren't really on the front foot, which is it seemed like he wanted to come at us, go at Arsenal, but they just weren't. Coutinho, I don't think he's a pressing player. Buendia, I don't think he's a pressing player. They're more of like you said, possessive, but sitting back, no, it doesn't make sense for that kind of team.
They won 3 out of their last 5, but they're coming off 2 losses in a row.
And who was the last one prior to us?
Their last win, Leeds.
No, last loss.
Oh, West Ham.
Oh, interesting. But yes, that leaves Arsenal leaving it late to kind of secure the victory. Rob Holding came in, put the 5 in the back, and that's when you know shop is closed up for the day. You're not getting through that back 5 actually, which is kind of comforting knowing, because before when you had Mustafi and David Luiz back there, that was never the case. You knew there could have been a very last minute opportunity, which there kind of was, a free kick from Coutinho, which wasn't a bad one, but that one you expect them to make every day. So happy with the result.
That Coutinho magic has definitely died down. He hasn't done. He didn't do anything that game.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is an aging, not 28, 29?
Something like that.
Damn, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not the same player as he was at
Yeah.
Liverpool. He's like, he just like, it's weird because like in mostly any sports, like bulking up and kind of looking more beefier is most of the time a benefit. Some, if you look at some aspects, it's probably not. But in football, it's kind of weird because like he went to Bayern, like that whole Bayern meme or whatever, where he get like bulkier. I don't know. It kind of looks weird. Also injuries, like hamstring injuries, ankle injuries. He just doesn't look as nimble as he was. Because like if you're a nimble player playing out in the left, drifting into the middle, like that, like him able to just like take on a player and just curl it out wide, I don't think he can do that anymore. I think he needs space in front of him to really operate.
So we're playing with kind of like a 9.
I don't know.
Be up there by himself.
Not
by himself, but like
I think the
with running
position.
behind
I
him?
think the position / role he's playing and occupying right now is fine for him, but I just don't think he can do the same things he's doing at Aston Villa at the same level he was doing at Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I think those days are way behind him, but yeah, Arsenal walk away with 3 points, making that top 4 spot a little bit more comfortable for them, for us. Thank you. Hopefully that continues and our run continues. Well, positive run. Now, continuing the Prem, because there was some FA Cup in between this, but we'll tackle that after this. Leicester City Brentford. Did you guys catch this game? I just didn't really want to tune into this one because I've been busy.
Fuck Brentford. As soon as I saw that there was no Christian Eriksen on the squad,
Oh yes,
I knew it was going to be rough because he has been putting in work and he's been that creative player that they need. And as soon as I saw he was out, I knew it was going to be a tough day at the office. But it's still against a Leicester team that have been shaky, and they didn't really do much. All the goals, however, did you guys see all the goals? They were all from outside the box. They were all outside the box.
Free kick, and I forget how his first one was, but the free kick was a fucking, oh my god, that was top bins.
Wies's goal in the end was also pretty good too, right outside the box. All the goals were pretty good, but it was fuck Brentford. Fuck
Brentford though.
Fuck Ivan Toney.
That's funny.
Fuck Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney before like a couple of days. I don't know. I sent it in the chat, but he was like, someone asked him, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I was like, "I'm a professional footballer." I was like, "Who do you play for?" He was like, "Nowhere special." Yeah.
He seems like that kind of.
He did the same thing. Like I think he was at Dubai and like the whole grill incident. she was like, I forgot what she said and what he responded with, but another incident kind of like that.
Like
So
he trolled like, the
he trolled the
Brentford
club.
fans, I think.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
hearing about that. Yeah, I mean, look, that's not the kind of reputation you want to build for yourself. But if
That's kind of fucked up.
yeah,
Nowhere
it's very
special.
fucked
Like
up.
damn. Like that's Brentford's first promotion to the Prem since like 105 years.
Hmm.
Nowhere special. That's kind of
Yeah, yeah. So Ivan Tony, you're making yourself look bad. Oh yeah, that's something. So yeah, after that, I wish Jose was here, but we'll kind of get his thoughts on this on Wednesday. But Spurs just manhandling West Ham. Not the result I was hoping for, but yeah, you watched this game. You were pretty upset with how
You're,
West Ham performed.
the lineup was questionable. They changed formations. I know I also heard on a different podcast, I think earlier, that yes, they went three at the back, but they also switched the center backs. I think Dawson and Zuma aren't used to playing in those particular center back roles. They're usually swapped. So like their awareness was thrown off a little bit. They didn't quite know exactly where they need to be. But I mean I said it on the last pod. With all the injuries they had, I mean yes, Antonio was back and Cresswell was back, but no Bowen. That's just you can see that the lineup that they had of Benrahma, Antonio, and Lanzini it just didn't click.
Mm.
It didn't click. They didn't have the speed and pace and creativity that Bowen does, and the ability that he can drag players out because he's been so good lately. So it was as expected.
Speaking of clicking, Nick, Harry Kane and Son once again getting that combination goal. You good, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about something else.
Oh, okay, okay. Again, well, first of all, I haven't heard any rumors of Kane leaving. I heard that maybe he's even staying.
I don't
Can we
know.
just quickly just?
I haven't heard
just-
any rumors
I haven't
either.
heard anything either.
So, are we assuming he's staying?
For right now, there's nothing that says otherwise.
Do you think that this Conte can get something out of this team if they continue in this form?
Only
I'm looking into next season because this season they have nothing to fight for apart from top 4.
Which I ruled them out of, so fuck me.
But I think I do, especially with the Kulusevski incoming, just because I think Kulusevski has been really able to link the whole trio together. Before Kulusevski was really obviously Son and Kane, and then one of Bergwijn or Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, he's a decent player, brought Spurs to the Champions League final, but I don't think he ever linked up that whole front three like together like Mane, Salah, Firmino did, or Bale, Cristiano, Benzema, and obviously MSN. Obviously, those trios are like top tier, and some of the best in football. But the way they were just able like to click together, I think with that front three, they have been able to. I think now it's just identifying right players.
Yeah,
and the way that Conte wants to play.
this is a front three that it's kind of worrisome when they're all on it, because especially with regards to Kane, the way Kane plays and how he drops in deep most of the time. In the past, before Kulusevski came in, Kane would drop deep, pick up the ball, and then he would just immediately goes right to Son. Now he has an option. So now defenders have to worry about two separate people and wondering where the heck he's going to go. So now it's definitely clicking, unfortunately.
But that duo of Son and Kane, like in transition, like they're probably the best duo in football. Just because like Kane drops, picks up the ball, and just sends like a 30-yard over the top pass to him and Son. Like they're probably the best duo in transition. Like it's ridiculous. They score like the Son goal that's he scored against West Ham where it's like 1v1 and slots it to the thing was near post. They score that goal like 5 times every season where Kane picks up the ball. They did the same thing except it wasn't Son. It was Steven Bergwijn against Leicester. Kane picks up the ball, through pass, easy. Like Spurs score so many transition goals. We're having Kane, like players like Kane and Son, it just makes it so much easier.
Which, if you think about it, that kind of is exactly what Conte would want, especially playing the counter attack of football. He wants somebody who can just like kill you in the transition. So yeah, that is a fucking scary duo right there. And the crazy thing is that now that they're clicking, it makes me worried because again, like I said earlier, I ruled them out top 4. There's still a North London derby to play at their stadium.
Is that game going to be on the last day of the
So
season?
that's what I'm saying. Like, it hasn't been announced yet. There's the way they're scheduling games right now. It feels like, and the rumors are, it's going to be scheduled for the end of the season or the week prior of the last game of the season. And the way that the table is looking right now, this could determine who's top 4. So they're saving it for a blockbuster North London derby, top 4 spectacle. But I think it's kind of fun. It's like, as an Arsenal fan, it makes me nervous because you never want to go away
And if you guys lose away at the
at their
fuck.
stadium, bro, for the Champions League spot, that's like, yeah, that's gonna hurt. And I think all the credit that built may just go out the window.
Yeah, that'll. Regardless, like I think, like truly, like I think most Arsenal fans who kind of just look at like the main like focal point and not really look at beyond it.
Yeah.
If Arsenal like lose to, let's say, Tottenham on the last day of the season, they're just gonna
Yeah, especially
hammer him.
if it knocks out Champions League. Yeah, dude, he's gonna all that credit he built is gonna go out the bank. For those that niggas said that are just like black and white, Champions League, no Champions League,
Right.
So we'll see what happens, man. That's getting me a little bit nervous, to be honest with you.
That's gonna be one hell of a game. The form that you guys are in, and depending on how the roller coaster falls for Spurs leading up to that game, it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens then. Still, we just have to play you guys as well. At our place, our home, so we have to play Chelsea. But
that week's gonna be crazy because we have Chelsea, United, and then West Ham right after.
that's fuck. We have Chelsea on a Wednesday, I believe.
Mhm.
That's West Ham away as well.
Chelsea on a Wednesday night, United on a Saturday morning.
Mhm.
All right, out of those 3 games, so is it United, Chelsea, and West Ham?
United, and West Ham. Yeah,
That's 9 points available. How many points are you taking?
Are
Or
we
how many
taking?
points
Do we
would you
need?
take?
Do
Like,
we need? So
like how
look,
many points? Like
we need them all.
realistically, how like you need?
All right,
Yeah.
for champions. So like Guy was saying, the numbers earlier for Champions League, safe number 70. You have to get to 70 points, and take the Chelsea game, take the United game, take the West Ham game
Those
out.
3 games.
Take those. So that's not and there's 10 games left,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So out of those games, I mean, we have to get
1 win at least.
a win against has to be a win against United at home. We're at home. We have to win that game. Like that's a must win. And if we can get a point from West Ham, I think would be all right. Chelsea.
If you can get 6 points,
Oh,
or
if you
win,
get 6
draw,
points?
you're good.
Yeah, I feel confident. I feel a lot more confident for top 4. But
Oh no, 5. I'm tripping. For anyone listening, it was 3 points and then draw.
Draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said 6.
Yeah. As long as we get our 3 points at home, and if we can manage to get one more point from the other guys, preferably West Ham, the way they're looking right now, because they're still in the top 4 race as well. If you can get a point from them as well, or Chelsea, either one, I feel a lot more confident going for top 4. But a lot of football to happen. International break this week, so no predictions again. Quickly get into some FA Cup action. Borough loses at home to Chelsea, so it looks like Borough can only beat Spurs and United, but Chelsea kind of broke that curse for them. Did you guys watch the game? You guys anything? No. All right. Well, they're continuing their good run. There's some new bids for Chelsea, improved bids from, I forget the guy's name, something Steve Nick. I forget his name, to be honest with you, but he's like, I'll invest into the club. This and the other. I'm like, fuck, please don't get the Jets owner in there. That way they can slowly bleed. But nope, that's not happening.
Apparently the Jets are like doing pretty good now, like rebuilding. I don't know.
They're
I don't
always
follow the Jets,
they're
but-
always like, this
That was
is our
pretty good.
year. Yeah, for real. Oh God. But other games that happened, Crystal Palace knocking out Everton.
Is that for the 4-0?
That was 4-0. Yeah, 4-0. Damn, man. Frank Lampard is
It's just a show of, first of all, who's a better manager and who is a better player in Patrick Vieira over Frank Lampard.
damn.
The better manager and player shows out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, this is the only positive thing that Everton could have gotten out of this season, and to go out in that fashion, it just kind of puts an extra damper on them. And they're still, again, they're right out of relegation zone with what I think 4 points clear right now, if I'm not mistaken. If you can let me know, if you can pull it up real quick.
They are 3 points clear.
3 points clear. Oh, and the way they're looking right now, that's not even a
You have to
question.
consider almost every other team has 10 games left. They have 13.
Shit.
Everton.
Oh, they have games in hand.
You're at 27 right now. There's some teams that have 30
Oh,
already,
Okay.
but so they have a long way to go.
They have a long way to go.
No. Is it? It's 11 games. Sorry, wait.
I think
Yeah,
it's
11.
11 games.
So we'll see. I mean, they're not guaranteed games, so we'll see what happens. But the way that they're formed is there's just no way.
On Palace though, like fuck man, Patrick Vieira, like he's
done.
like been able to just reset a culture and really rebuild his team. So I'm looking at their lineup right now, and their left side and right side between the midfield and the attack. So on the right side it's Conor Gallagher and Mikel Olise. Like what the hell, bro? Like that is like top talent. On the left side, Eze and Wilfred Zaha again. And then and then the full left hand side is Mitchell, who's been called up for England, I believe. Eze and Zaha. And then you have Gay, who just got called up for England as well. The left
Yeah.
center back. Like that rebuilding. Like
How long has Elise been at the club for?
I think this is his first year.
He just came there.
Yeah, he got signed
That's-
from Reading.
That's like the youth that they were bringing in, right? This is all signs of good recruitment.
Eze as well. I forgot where he came from, but it's like you just said, top recruitment. Then you also have experience in the likes of Kouyaté at DM. Nathaniel Klein played for Liverpool. Top experience. Like he's been able to just fit the right pieces in.
They got a good balance.
Right, and they also signed Odsonne Edouard this summer from Celtic, French striker.
I'm kind of upset that his game time dropped because he was fun to watch.
That's
so
why
now he's more of a sub for who's their central striker? Mateta
Mateta.
sometimes.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I like how Vieira isn't just throwing Odsonne Edouard in because he'll probably be the starting striker next season. So Vieira is doing a phenomenal job, man.
Yeah, he's looking really good. And Crystal Palace, I think they're top 10 if I'm not mistaken, right? Or they're bad for top 10.
they're
I
12.
just want to know where they can actually like
They're-
because
yeah.
it's
What should be their ambitions?
yeah because it's sad because like players like Ulis are gonna get and Conor Gallagher is gonna get
They're
poached.
gonna get poached, of course.
Like, but it's sad. I want to see what they build because Crystal Palace. Like imagine Palace challenging for fucking like Europa, man.
Palace
That's
for
thing,
the
I don't
for the
think
longest
that-
for the longest time, Palace has always been known as that mid-table.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have
mid-table
nothing to
team.
play for.
They
Next season,
never
their ambitions
yeah.
has to be
But now
top
this
10
year,
and,
they're-
and domestic cups.
This year they've been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're moving on past the quarterfinals at the FA Cup. So what are their ambitions? This should be their ambition.
Yeah.
FA Cup. You know, that's a good trophy for them, and that gets them into Europa.
Palace and Eze and Ulis tearing up
That-
fucking.
I mean,
Man,
who wouldn't love to see that, man? I would actually root for that to happen. Yeah, I'm for that. But somebody we won't see. No Cinderella story here. Southampton getting thumped 4-1. Did you guys watch this game at all?
No, but I think like for Liverpool, their title challenge, that's St. Mary's away trip, man. That is not an easy place to go.
Yeah.
Like for any like city, like even not St. Mary's, but against Southampton, they drew against them 2 times this season. But again, like away at St. Mary's, that's not going to be an easy place for any top teams to go.
And they've been solid this season as far as playing on the front foot, getting goals too on top with a really good press. But yeah, 4-1 City. That's a good confidence booster for City for their title run in all competitions at this point right now. So a nervy game for Liverpool, 1-0 against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, the first like I say half was really kind of like I'd say Liverpool dominated more. Then it kind of like the first I say 15-20 minutes. Actually, I'd say the last 15-20 minutes Nottingham kind of really got a couple chances. They honestly probably should have scored, which I kind of expect like Nottingham Forest against Liverpool, a big rivalry in the past, like in the 70s. I was watching I was hearing a podcast, and then in 5 years span, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest won 5 European Cups between those 2 clubs. So apparently in the past, a big rivalry, obviously, but also like a huge connection just because of what happened in Hillsborough in 1989. So, but yeah, home stadium against Liverpool, like I said, it's gonna be buzzing, and the players are like I said. But yeah, I mean, the real takeaway is Liverpool drew City in the semifinals away at Wembley. I think I think it's after the league game against City, so I think City probably have the upper advantage just because obviously they have better depth players, which Liverpool also have good depth as well. But
They have a pretty
that's
close
gonna be
second round.
that's gonna be a rough fucking week because it's in the same week. I just don't know which one's
Also,
first.
that means Chelsea play Crystal Palace then.
Yeah,
Means Conor Gallagher's not going to play.
does that apply?
Does that apply? Doesn't it apply for
I
FA
don't know.
too? Doesn't it? Because that's his parent club.
I don't know. I'm not
It
sure.
does.
honestly.
It does.
It does
because
apply.
I know it applies in the league, but I don't know about the cup.
It does because Liverpool signed this one kid, Sepp Vandenberg, 2019, Dutch kid, and he plays for Preston right now, and Liverpool played them in the Carabao Cup earlier this year, and he wasn't able to play.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Well,
But real quick, I don't know about you guys. FA Cup every year gets boring during this stage. It's
It
always the
does.
same 3 or 4 teams.
It's always
Every single
Chelsea, man,
season.
like fucking Chelsea.
It's always the same
Gonna make
couple
a final
teams.
again.
yeah,
I can't believe it.
yeah. I mean, it gets boring, but
But if you're a fan of them, like winning trophies.
Yeah,
and
if you're
going
if
into
you're a
finals.
supporter,
It's a
yeah.
trophy you want to have in your cabinet. And again, for a team like Crystal Palace, for example, who if they can manage to get past Chelsea and see who out of Liverpool and see if they can beat them too, just happens happens for them is they're on their day. They're in Europa, and that's the kind of things you get out of these kind of tournaments. Yeah, it does get kind of
No, but
laboring after a while.
I agree on the later rounds, but also like Middlesbrough beating Tottenham and Man United.
Yeah.
And Nottingham Forest beating Leicester, like 4-1. I think it was 4-1.
Yeah.
But
As a
the FA Cup
fan,
magic type shit.
I would say as a domestic fan, it probably means a lot more than to us because we're not at the grounds. We're not those like Borough fans or those or anything like that. So but
FA Cup back in the day, like apparently like in the 70s, 80s, like that shit was huge.
It was a big trophy.
Like, it was huge.
I mean, I know this is like we're just I'm gonna go off the track sheet, but did you guys see who potentially could be promoted to the Premier League? I believe it's Luton FC. And if you haven't seen that, check it out. Their stadium is literally in the backyard of like a whole bunch of projects.
I think I saw that picture.
I'm not sure the projects, but it's just like a bunch of apartments. Like
That's imagine like a fucking City's $1 billion squad.
Yeah,
just
just walking into
The squad, 2 players is worth more than the
No,
city.
that's what I'm saying, man. That's crazy. But I mean, that's why you gotta love the whole the way that's set up over there, the Premier scheme. But yeah, that was the Cup, right? We just finished the Cup. Yes, and I think that leaves just one more thing to talk about. I think the thing that I was trying to. Marcus already laughing because he knows where he's coming. I think that's
exactly where you're going.
I think that's what he was
Yeah, we
thinking for
gotta-
so long. He's like, I got to get ready for this because
we got a live look at a training session.
All right, Marco, do you remember
Pretty much.
that video that you said Barcelona are not a big name anymore? You got a lot of troll comments. Barcelona are not a big name anymore. They're not on that stage anymore. I just want to know, after this game, 4-0 Barcelona.
So
At
first of all,
At
I
the
did say they're
Bernabeu.
not big. I did say they're not a big name. I said that there's other names coming along that are going to come to their size. Now, Barcelona, what they did to us is a joke in the sense of us. We're puppets. They played around with us. And it's hella frustrating to watch. That game was hella frustrating to watch, just from the lineup itself. Of course, we got the blow that Benzema's not playing, because of an injury. And then we don't play a striker. We have no striker. We put Modric as our quote unquote striker, false nine, whatever you want to call it. But my man spent more time in the fucking defense than him up top. And the worst part is he would try to go find the ball back in the back, try to play from the back. What would they do? Pass it maybe half a yard to a yard up, and then they'll send it to Vinicius. Vinicius runs, and then if Modric all win it back,
There's
who
no
the fuck is
focal
going to
point.
be there to pass the ball to? We had our chances. Don't get me wrong. We had our chances. It's just that there was no one there to receive that ball. There was points that fucking Casemiro was playing as a striker. I'm like, where's our lineup? Where's our game plan? There was no game plan. There was times that it looked like we were playing 4-3, 4-1-3-2, but the two were outside. They weren't even in the middle. And I was I was like, okay, they got 2 in the first half. All right, let's see what they can do coming in. There has to be a change. We have to bring in a striker. And in my opinion, Joey should have been the one to come in. But no, he doesn't even do that. He takes out Kroos and he takes out fucking Carvajal. And he brings in Mariano and Camavinga. I'm like, okay, Mariano did score a goal against Barcelona 2 fucking years ago.
We were at Derby
3.
Road.
We were at Derby Road. 3. I think it's 3 years now. I think it's 3. Or 2. I can't fucking remember. 2, right? And that's his highlight. Jovic has actually played minutes and had scored and assisted, I believe, this season. Not much. I think it has 1 and 1 or 2 and 2. But yeah, at least he's done something to give him the chance. Again, I'm not the coach. I don't know exactly what his mentality was, but he said Mariano, so okay, let's do it. But he switches the line, the 4 in the back to 3, and that backfired immediately. Not even 2 minutes in, we already had a third goal in. And then 3 minutes after that, another goal. What happens? He waits 10 minutes, not even 10, I think like 5 minutes, and then he takes Nacho out, and then goes back to a four in the back, and then he takes Rodrigo out, brings Asensio, which is gonna slower. If we were already slow, that just came to kill the momentum, any momentum that we can have by putting Asensio in the game. Maybe they wanted to control a little bit more the midfield, but they had no control. Our defense was in shambles. I don't know what Militao was doing, but half the passes out were to Barcelona itself. So I don't know, man. This one was very frustrating, but at the end of the day, it's our fault for not preparing for this game because we could have walked away with the win. Don't get me wrong. We had our chances if we had the proper players in the proper places. But because we didn't have that, we didn't take advantage of it.
But like, if you only had one player out though,
But
but
Vinicius
obviously
was the only one that
that
was
only
doing
one
anything.
player is huge.
Yeah, we had only one
but you had
player.
the trio.
What trio?
No,
was it-
Casemiro, Modric.
Was it
Casemiro.
was it Courtois the best player of that game? Because otherwise there could have easily been like 6,
Oh, we
7,
had
8
yeah,
goals.
yeah. No, we Courtois could have easily been was easily the best player in our team, basically. Vinicius tried his best. Yes, he did he tried to get the penalty to see if something would happen. Actually, I'm not surprised he didn't get a yellow card because he literally dove.
I didn't realize over the past couple of years the Piqué Vinicius rivalry has actually been pretty pretty
It has,
entertaining.
but I feel like Piqué kind of like try to cool him down a little bit because he knew that Vinicius was getting a little off. But yeah, bro, since from the minute of the lineup, man, like even putting Carvajal in this game, I'm like, why? You saw what fucking Mbappe did to him, and then you have what's his name? Torres, I think is his name. The kid is fast. What do you expect?
Actually, no. I said you also didn't have Ferland Mendy, and we'll talk about like the other side because Ousmane Dembele fucking tore him up.
Oh yeah,
Nacho
bro.
Fernandez.
Yeah, no. I mean, I personally have always disliked the midfield the defense combination of Militao and Nacho. I thought that was gonna be our future. Nah, it should never be. The problem is that we don't have a proper left back if Mendy's not in. I mean, they should have continued training Gutierrez when he was training. That's the kid from La Cantera. Because Marcelo, they're not going to give Marcelo time. He's not fast enough to run back. They're not going to put Marcelo in. So Alaba's our choice. But if you take Alaba, we no longer have a dominant center back. Nacho cannot do it with Militao. I don't know if there's miscommunication or something. Something has always gone wrong when them two are together in the back. So off the rip, I knew that it was going to be a struggle. I just didn't think it was going to be this type of struggle.
Let me ask you this though on Carlo Ancelotti, because you kind of mentioned like changes, and I also thought as well like he had Toni Kroos like pressing Barcelona's two center backs. Out of all players, like you could have like Luka Modric or in the second half Camavinga. You had Toni Kroos, one of the slowest midfielders, but so technically superb, pressing the front lines. Like that was just like. But on Carlo Ancelotti, what are your thoughts on him? Because I think he's. I
like him. I think there's in this game. I mean, I'm not going to talk shit about what he's done for Real Madrid so far, with what he has, just off of one game. This is the first time we lose against Barcelona in the past 3 years.
When you say what he has, what do you mean by that?
I mean, what we has. He doesn't. We don't have the last player that we purchased was Hazard in big money.
Wait, so
Big money. So what we have is what we've had for the past couple of years. We only added a couple players here and there.
how would you rate Real Madrid right now then, as a squad?
As a full squad, I think me personally, I think we're punching above our weight class a little bit sometimes. I think we're doing phenomenal in the Liga. I also think because Barcelona has had a really shit year, and so has Atletico Madrid. But like the competition against the Champions League, I don't think we're gonna make it. If there's a possibility we can walk away against win against Chelsea, but beyond that, I don't see us making it to the final. Personal.
I'm kind of curious. Who do you think after this season you should move on?
Like player wise,
Yeah.
there's a handful of them.
Like,
I want me to name them out right now?
nah. I mean, if I know
Name
I'm
it,
putting you
name
on
it,
the
fuck it,
spot,
yeah,
but like,
name
I
it.
kind of want to know.
Yeah, Marcelo's leaving because he literally is leaving.
No, but,
This is
like,
last year.
starting lineup.
Like what?
I guess Deadwood and starting lineup. Like, just because you're saying that you're think you're pushing above your weight class with the players you have right now.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's a starting 11. So out of the starting 11, who do you think is like not making
Carvajal
it?
definitely has to go. I think we need another or a better center back.
Better
I
one.
mean, in a sense that we like, if you're gonna keep on throwing Alaba on the left to have Mendy's backup, you have to have a better center back than Nacho or Vallejo, because Vallejo hasn't even
Vallejo.
played.
What happened to Militao?
Militao was there, but this game he was off, completely off.
No, but this season
And
he's been
this
fucking
season,
phenomenal.
no, that's what I said. This game he's been was really off, but he's been consistent. The problem is, again, for me, in my eyes, the partnership with him and Nacho, they don't understand each other, and him and Alaba do.
It was kind of like Militao and Varane a couple years ago. Like remember the
Yeah.
Champions League against
There,
Man City?
there was always some miscommunication, but for some reason with Alaba, they're good. So again, if you're gonna throw him Alaba to the left, you have to give him a better center back. I love Nacho, but keep him on the wings. Don't as a right back or left back. Don't put him as a partnership with. So Carvajal has to go. They need to or find a replacement, not replacement. I like Mendy. I do think that we could get somebody better on the left back. But I like Mendy. If
Okay.
we
Yeah,
if
he's
we don't
class,
if we don't
he's
that,
class.
for me,
You're okay with him?
if he stays, cool. If we can find somebody, but let's fix
He's
everything
not a
else up.
priority.
Not a priority.
Okay.
So that's like glass. Midfield, we have to find somebody that can bring us a little bit more or speed or something. Because Modric is burning. He is doing way too much for it. And that's fucked up because he's only 35, 34, 35. But there's gonna come a point that he or could get injured or next season he might just not have that capability he has now, because he's one player that he runs everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's phenomenal, and sometimes that's not good,
He's gonna burn him out. Yeah.
because he might not make those runs in the positions that they place him in. So I think a replacement for Modric is necessary. I do love Valverde. I think I just feel like he needs more time. Also, Camavinga did come in as a replacement for Casemiro, and I do think that he's a good replacement. With time, he will be, and he
Yeah.
has speed.
Yeah.
He's
So,
quick.
You think Casemiro has to go?
No,
Okay.
no, I would
think
never. No,
he's like-
Casemiro.
Yeah, he's like one of the best
Um,
CDMs.
No, the one when it comes to the top three, it's hard for me to say because one of them has to go.
You going
In
with
my
JG,
eyes,
Asensio?
it's between Asensio and Rodrigo. I don't know who to choose.
Yeah, they've been.
Neither of them have been good, and we know that once, and if it's true, Mbappe comes, that might be his spot, or it might be where Vinicius has to come to the right side. I really don't know what the plan will be, but somebody one of them two have to go, because unless they learn or they get trained to play as a midfielder instead of going out wide. With I think Asensio can do it.
Yeah.
It's just Asensio doesn't have the speed that Rodrigo has. He just I think has a little bit better of a Camish mentality. But one of them two will eventually end up leaving. And then we have to find a better replacement for Benzema, because if you're not even relying on either one of your two strikers as a replacement, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
So Mariano has to go and Jovic has to go, and then find a better replacement for him for Benzema. And then of course the dead weight, that's Isco.
Yeah. Isco, forgot about him.
What's his name? Ceballos. Who else is dead weight there? There's a couple other ones. Hazard. Sadly, Bale also.
I'm not sure why Bale didn't play.
I forgot Bale was
injured
there.
again.
He's injured because
think he's
if he wasn't
injured
injured, I thought he'd be a decent number.
I think they would have put him in.
So I mean, by the
But-
sounds of it, I mean it's nothing that Real Madrid won't do, but 5 players have to get moved on in order to
Yeah.
revamp the squad. That's crazy, man. That's crazy because Real Madrid, who've always been kind of like you're right. The team hasn't changed for much in the past.
No.
God knows
We
how
have
many
the
years?
same
4?
we have the same squad. Basically, the core of the squad is the same for the past 7 years.
That's crazy.
Isco has been on for a very long time. So as Asensio, has
Yeah.
won 2 trophies with us. Casemiro, the same thing. Bale, Modric has been there from.
But that's starting a new
years.
project, man. That's starting a project. Is it
Yeah,
Ancelotti the guy to start a project with?
No,
That's the question, because he didn't. When he came in the first time around, he didn't bring in that many players. Of course, we also had a pretty decent project going on.
But
So who did he bring? I think he brought
the thing,
Chicharito.
Ancelotti, when he was there, is always full of stars, and
Yeah, that's the thing,
He's the kind of manager that is all vibes. Like he knows how to control egos.
it's a great point. He knows how to the atmosphere, like real quick, like the PSG game, that comeback, that was all him.
That he knows. Yeah, exactly. He knows how to get. He knows how to get into these players that have huge egos. That's why maybe at Everton he didn't do well, because it kind of came down to what he can actually implement on the field. And these I mean, they weren't that good. He couldn't bring his football to life.
Because tactically, he's not the best.
Exactly. And you saw that at Everton. He did bad. And then you go to Real Madrid and he's fucking winning Champions Leagues and he's doing this, that, and the other. But why? Because he has a room full of stars that he knows how to kind of control them. So for him to kind of be a leader to a new project, I think that'd be a horrible move.
And then the other thing is that you have specific players that have adapted to work with one specific other player. In this case, Vinicius and Benzema, right? You have them that they play really well with each other, but when one of them is missing, they don't know what to do because they're not used to playing with anybody else. So you would see the Vinicius run, and he knew where Benzema would be, but nobody would be there.
Yeah.
And whoever comes along has to do what Benzema does, which is a lot more than a usual striker does. But in my eyes, Benzema does drop deep, picks up the ball, passes it, and then makes sure that he makes a run so that he can be in the center to receive that ball, or runs out to the left mostly, and then lets Vinicius cut in.
Yeah.
So you have to find that replacement that will do that exact job, which, I mean, Haaland is right there. He's waiting for it to be picked up. But the thing is, he's going to Man City apparently, so that sucks.
Going back to the project thing, like Madrid, I think they've been like kind of like missed because like I just saw a tweet. It was so you guys had Hakimi, yeah, you mentioned right back, right? Theo Hernandez, who's killing at AC Milan, left back, right? Mateo Kovacic, who's doing really well at Chelsea. Marcos Llorente, Atletico Madrid. You talk about speed in the midfield, Marcos Llorente, right back, Hakimi. Backup left back option / challenging, Theo Hernandez.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like that's like.
I mean, we did have misses, of course.
No,
there
but
was definitely misses.
I think people mentioned like, oh, but like he didn't get the chances, so they would have never happened. Like, but he never got the chance. Like,
exactly.
Like,
Why?
I think sometimes, yeah. I mean, there was consistent starters, which we've had consistent ones for a very long time.
But that's what I gotta get. Ancelotti won't fall to the youth.
He has not, no. Again, what I was saying, Gutierrez. I think his name is Gutierrez. He's a left back. He was playing when Marcelo and when Mendy were injured. And I personally like the kid. He's a young kid from La Cantera, but he was doing the job. But they never allowed him to continue doing that job because Alaba's there. So then why not use him? But then you have that matchup with Nacho and Militao, and just, I mean, I understand that sometimes they feel like they try to rotate them too within the positions, but there's going to be a point that one of them is going to misunderstand what the other one's doing.
Yeah.
Because what I've noticed is when they do play together, when it's Nacho, Alaba, and Militao playing together, Alaba runs in through the middle and Nacho stays back
on that point,
not on the side.
Do Real Madrid have like a solid back four? Or are they constantly like
because of injury? It's on the left side changes a lot more. On the right side, it's always been Carvajal, unless he's injured, which has been quite some time in this season, and it's Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Vazquez has picked up the slack, and I prefer Lucas Vazquez at this point, even though he is technically a right wing.
Yeah,
but he does the job.
Yeah,
that right winger / like right forward role, like in the past recent years, like Madrid have obviously targeted Eden Hazard since when Ronaldo left, like. Ever since Bale got his injuries and whatnot, after let's say like 2018, he kind of like started fading away, like the whole Wales, golf, and Madrid and whatnot. Like still Asensio. Like I always say, like if they try to target Salah like 2 years ago, like Vinicius, Benzema, and Salah, you know what I mean? That right side is just like every time I watch Madrid play, like I look at their left side, Vinicius, in the middle, Benzema. I look at the right side, Asensio. Or Rodrigo,
well, look,
like,
Salah from last hour rejected his last contract offer. So it's not rated off yet.
Unless Mbappe says no. Unless Mbappe says no, then
imagine Salah, Benzema, and Mbappe.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, bro. That'd be terrifying.
Well,
but what is terrifying? What is more terrifying to you? The fact that Aubameyang scored a brace
and an assist,
and an assist, or the fact that Mbappe might just turn the airplane around and decide, "Yep, I'm not going to that club."
Yeah, after that performance, like I'm not even going there. I'm not showing up. I think because of the situation and then where he came from, I think Aubameyang's brace plus assist hurts a little bit, stings a little bit more because he left my one team to go beat the shit out of the other one, which sucks. The one thing that I was seeing around that was something that in my eyes, I'm like, that's stupid. Like, I think Chinguito. That's the only thing I saw from them that they said. I haven't watched it.
I watched a little bit of clips.
But one other thing that they said, I think they said it before or after the game, was this for Real Madrid in their eyes. For Real Madrid, this is just another game. For Barcelona, this is the season because they have technically nothing to play for. Which that's not true. They still have Europa.
They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, and then they play Galatasaray. No,
Yeah.
No,
they
they
beat them. They
They just
play
beat
against-
Galatasaray.
no, they have
unfortunately.
Frankfurt. No, not Frankfurt.
Yeah, Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Frankfurt. Okay.
If then it's possible we could get West Ham, Barcelona in the semis.
Yeah. Okay. So they still have something to fight for. And then, and for me, I'm like, no, that's stupid. Like, this is not just another game. This has always been a Clásico and forever will be a Clásico. You can never put your hands down. Yes, we have won them. We have beat them every single time the past 3 years, but that doesn't mean that we had to stop.
4-0.
And the worst part is, yes, we have all that, but then they come and their comeback game is a 4-0 game against us.
No.
And that stings. I mean, any Real Madrid that's blind that says, "Oh, this is just another game," like, no, that's stupid. This will forever be the game, one of the 2 games of the season for La Liga. So I mean, again, at the end of the day, it burns. It pisses me off. Thankfully, there's a.
Did you watch the whole game?
No. I did not finish watching the game. I actually stopped watching it right when they scored the 4th goal. I think I said, "Fuck it, I can't do it anymore," and I turned on the TV and watched something else because I was pretty upset because, again, just the lineup itself. The minute I saw the lineup from the beginning of the game, I knew something was going to go wrong, and you saw it. You saw the changes that Ancelotti did backfired on the spot and had to redo it all over again. 10 minutes later.
One thing I do have to kind of bow my head to is Xavi Ball. He's definitely brought it to life. And
That one
that
clip,
multiple
that
highlight
one
reels.
clip.
Turned into multiple, and he brought Aubameyang back to life. I'm actually happy for Aubameyang that he's got that he just looks a man reborn. His celebration the Dragon Ball Z was pretty awesome because earlier in the year
he always does that though. I love that.
He does, but earlier in the year, I think last year, Cruz came out talking shit like, "Oh, why is he doing that? We're professionals. We shouldn't be doing that." And then he scores 2 at your place and gets an assist.
I mean, to me,
So
that's
that's
another
kinda like-
celebration. Like
It
everybody
is.
has like the or Messi. I don't know if Messi has a specific one, but everybody has like their own. I mean, yeah. But that one that's unique to him because he does masks, and then he did the
thing is that Cruz came out and actually came out and said something against him, and then he had like a little
Oh yeah, I remember
online
that.
beef.
Yeah.
So that was it was kind of funny to see that, but yeah, Xavi man definitely has he just like has a good influence on these young players, and these Pedri, like these guys are just like they look like they're ready for the job, and the way they're playing, man, it's like old school Barcelona again.
A classic example of Xavi is with Frankie de Jong. Like before Xavi came in, Frankie de Jong, like, which is really weird because Ronald Koeman, who was a Dutch manager at the time, like he really got a tune on de Jong for the national team. But like under Koeman with de Jong, like he was really poor. Xavi comes in, he really like spurs him on. De Jong, like the classic de Jong that we saw at Ajax. Same thing with Ousmane Dembele, like prior to Xavi coming in and out of sides, injuries. Xavi comes in, I think he has 9 assists since Dembele has really started kicking up. Same thing with players like
He doesn't have a reason to fake injuries anymore, so he doesn't
right.
play.
Ever since he got married, like you know what I mean, like he's a different man. But like Araujo, Ousmane Dembele,
Dude, since Aubameyang got there, bro, I'm telling you, he needs Aubameyang next to him. They're best friends.
I mean, for the people that said that Dembele wasn't going to play at all a minute the rest of the season because of the what do you call it
The president said he wasn't
right there,
gonna play
and he was
anymore.
one of their best players that game.
So Xavi is influencing not only the players, the board as well. So you have to give hats off to the guy, man. He's definitely bringing that club back to life, and they just got a huge injection of money with that Spotify deal. And have you seen the little mock jerseys that they made?
I saw
They're
those.
pretty sick.
oh, the artist,
The artist
artist
logos
logos.
on the shirt. If they do that and change it every game, dude, they're gonna sell out. I'm not gonna lie, I might cop a jersey, yo. That's kind of sick.
But like I know, like Marco, Gat, and Eric, you guys, I don't mind Barca.
I lean
but, like,
more towards Real Madrid.
Yeah, but like with Barca, like fuck, like that project, like it's kind of crazy. Like Xavi comes in, like recruiting smart players like Ferran Torres,
Mhm.
Adama Traore, developing players like Xavi, Ronaldo Araujo. Like as soon as they like get a top class center back to pair Araujo with, once Piqué kind of like starts fading out,
Araujo
like,
might be leaving this summer. By the
And-
way, there's contract issues for him.
They should keep him at all costs. Like same thing, Usman Dembele contracts. Like they have a lot of contract issues.
They've
Like,
always struggled with the right back, so they should definitely. And then they need eventually going to need a.
I think they're talking some Ajax right back. But,
Yeah, and then I think they're eventually going to need a replacement for the left back because Alaba is not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
But
Some-
yeah, Araujo, they should definitely stay
Yeah.
because he's a really good.
Gavi as well. Like he has some contract issues as well. But yeah, that project, like I kind of like compare Xavi to well, the Barcelona way. It was like Cruyff to someone, and that to Pep, and then Pep to Xavi, La Masia with Arteta and Xavi. So I think they're kind of
Very
similar in a way.
similar.
But I saw a couple comparisons though that like Xavi's already like top tier, and I agree. Like I think he'll become a top manager for sure. Like no doubt. But I think the comparisons with Mikel Arteta was kind of like off the mark, where they're kind of saying Xavi has done like crazy because like if you think about it, Xavi's building up. He's building up with Araujo, class on the ball. Jordi Alba, Piqué, who was one of the best center backs in his peak on the ball.
He came at a good.
Arteta was trying to coach a build up
Mustafi.
with David Luiz. No, David Luiz on the ball is class, but Mustafi,
Kolasinac.
Socrates. Like I agree, they have a lot of similarities as an actual manager, but the jobs they've been able to do, like Xavi has done an amazing job, but Mikel Arteta has done a phenomenal job, especially like those first year and a half.
Yeah, and I mean, look, he won an FA Cup.
I forgot about that.
That's everywhere in his trophy cabinet. But to your point, Arteta and Xavi, they both came from La Masia. They both grew up in that environment. And if you watched that Netflix documentary, what is it? Pass the ball, give the ball, move the ball, something like that.
Pass the ball, move.
Yeah, it's if you haven't watched it, it's phenomenal. You have to watch it. It's the whole thing on Barcelona's dominant trifecta year. But that's embedded into him, the way that style of play. And if you look at it again, Pep, Man City, at that Xavi, I'm trying to think of somebody else right now who's coaching from that environment, but it's all similar. It's all possess the ball, build up from the back, and just dominate your opponent. So
like Eric Ten Hag also has a similar qualities to those two managers as well. Arteta, Xavi, really building up from the back, coaching a build up and whatnot. But yeah, like you mentioned, like dominance and like with Xavi, it's all like tiki taka and like under Pep, and like 08 through like 2012. But like what's funny here, I was watching watching a couple of videos on like Xavi and his tactics and whatnot, and it's kind of like not way off like what tiki taka is. So it's like he has his like wingers very high and wide, and then he has his inverted fullbacks, and then he has like the one of Pedri or Gavi or De Jong really pushing up and helping the two forwards, whether it be Ferran Torres or Aubameyang. Was kind of different to Pep, but yeah, it's like Xavi has kind of like brought a little bit of Pep and then brought a little bit of like kind of Klopp or like one of those managers who kind of like just forward, or like kind of like chaos, like instill like controlled chaos. And Xavi has done an amazing job at that.
We will see if this long-term project, because this is a long-term project for Barcelona, no doubt about that. If this will eventually put them back up top, and if Real Madrid are going to be playing catch-up down the years, so
Listen, AC Milan looking back on track, Inter Milan looking back on track, Arsenal looking back on track, Barcelona looking back on track, then Man United.
Now, hopefully,
as the classic top teams, looking
Spurs looking back on track.
Yeah,
No,
let's
I'm talking
Let's wait.
like 2000 to like 2010, like Inter, like AC Milan, Arsenal, Barcelona, Man United.
Yeah.
All those other teams are kind of like back on their perch, but
Juve going down the hill.
Juve, damn. Dybala free this summer. Oh, got a lot to talk about next episode, man. Let's end it there, Marco. I'm sorry we had to berate you all the Real Madrid questions. We just had to get them in there because
I don't mean we don't talk about them enough, like at all, or only like situations like this, or sometimes when Champions League comes along. But that's it, basically it.
But yeah, thank you for everybody for listening, for watching, for sticking around for that. Again, go to the description down below for all of our socials. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, the notification bell. We appreciate that. Come share your voice on the bench. Again, Wednesday, we do have a very, very special person returning to the podcast, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll have some food here. You can't eat with us, but you can watch us eat. So it's also a mukbang video, in case you're wondering what that is. Go look it up. It's pretty cool stuff, actually. You guys ever watch mukbang videos?
Yep.
It's sometimes I torture myself by doing it because I get so fucking hungry.
Yeah, it pisses me off. The ones that I've seen are all like California. I'm like,
I know.
they're not here.
There's a lot of spots in Fort Lee, where it's a lot of like Korean style food. So if you're ever down to like maybe do like a mukbang like you know summer episode, we can.
I'm still waiting for Vlad and Eddie to start that up.
Damn, they're not listening. But if you want to clip this part out and put it on Instagram so they can tag them on that, that'd be hilarious. But with all that being said, we want to thank you as always. We are the bench, the bench of the voice. Where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.